I wanted to start off with just explaining the difference between white hat, gray hat, and black hat SEO. This is where Awesome Dynamic lies in the white hat SEO. So what this is techniques that are approved by Google that you're not going to get blacklisted off Google or some other websites. Black hat is the exact opposite. That's like really old SEO techniques or keyword stuffing. If you put a ton of keywords on your website or something like that, um, you're gonna either rank lower or get major penalties and have to recover from those penalties, which is much harder than not having any at all. Then gray hat's kind of in the middle. So sometimes it's, SEOs have, arguments about them. This is good, this is bad, or maybe this one's kind of okay, but you won't get penalized. But so that's kind of the borderline stuff right here. So what this method is, it's technically landing in the white hat method because it lands in Google's guidelines, which you can actually find, and we got a link right here. So here's Google's guidelines on how you can represent your business on Google My Business. So that's what we just went to, that Google My Business listing, that GYBO.com. So there's a lot of rules to list your business on here. And you have to be eligible, you have to have a physical location, things like this. So if you find that one of your competitors that's above you is not following all of these guidelines, what you can do is flag them and report them to Google. And that eventually Google will find it, but if you flag them and say, okay, you got to look at this guy first, they're going to put it at the top of their list. And they have people working full-time to get these people off of Google if they're not following all of the rules. For example, if you have a physical location and you're following all the rules of Google My Business, you have the hours, everything, you're available during the hours, everything like that, you're doing 100%, everything 100% correct. At the same time, you can have people that have like a P.O. box, their business address is their home. That's a big one. If you have competitors that you can see clearly on the map that they're on their home, then that's definitely something that you can get them flagged for. Do you have any some more examples, Paul? Of I know you've done this. You've actually done this for Awesome Dynamic.
Yeah, so I want to get into a couple of those things a little bit further. So I think I forgot when it was, but someone asked me, well, what if I do have my business on my home and I don't mind if someone just I do serve clients or meet with clients at my home during the business hours. Well, Google's perspective is this: is there a sign on the road or on the house that says, yes, this business is here? If someone randomly walks in without any sort of appointment whatsoever and walks right in the front door, are they A, allowed to do that? B, would they know to do that because it looks like a sign on the building? And 3, if they go inside and they say, hey, is business ABC here? The people inside will say, yes, you're in the right place. How can we help you? So a P.O. box is not one of those things. Neither is a pack and ship place, nor is the post office. And your house isn't one either. So that's Google's perspective on using these different things as your address, and that's why you don't want to use those. So what you can do is partner with another company that you might have a strategic partnership with to represent your business there. If you do work virtually, and obviously if someone does walk in, they'll see your sign. Someone will be there and say, yes, you're in the right place. How can I help you? So long as you're able to meet those criteria, then you're allowed to have your address listed on the map. Conversely, if you're not able to do that, then you really should be using what's called a service area and hide your address. Now, this does bring up a problem, which is you're not going to be able to use the citation portion of getting your business promoted online through ranking. So, Robin, would you mind pulling up the pie chart again? The reason I want to bring this up is because a big part of ranking on Google, at least locally, is to have your citations be very, very consistent with each other and match your Google My Business name, address, and phone number. And you can see that's the orange piece of the pie at 13.6%. If you have to hide your address because it's violating Google's guidelines, you basically aren't able to utilize or do anything about this 13.6% of the pie that could help you rank better in a geographical area. So unless you have a real physical address that people can walk into, then you can't exploit this to your advantage on ranking on Google. So you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, but you have to follow the rules, because if you don't, you could get blacklisted or your listing could be taken down. So wanted to explain those points. Now, Robin, where were you at in the article? What was the next point that was there? Would you mind going back to that for a moment? Great. Um, let's see. Interact with people during the business hours listed. Business under construction are not allowed. Business must be your real world name. That's another big one. A lot of people put like the key words of what they do in the name of their business, and that's not allowed either. Or they'll just call themselves, like I was looking at this and was doing it for Awesome Dynamic. I found a lot of companies that called themselves Chicago SEO. When in reality it was some weird name that didn't say anything about Chicago SEO or web design or anything at all. It was just whatever their business name was that didn't indicate what they did in their business name. So there's ways to go ahead and flag those things, and I think that's the next piece that Robin is going to get into. Is that correct, Robin?
Yeah. Yes. So all you have to do is go into their. You can go into their Google My Business listing and just say, okay, this person doesn't. This person's not following the rules. You could use MapMaker as well. So if you just search Google MapMaker.
Robin, do you want me to
Um,
do a quick demo?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me set this up here. I'll share my screen. And I will present to everyone. That is not the blue screen of death. That's the blue awesome logo. All right. So you can actually do it right from Google Maps, and my favorite way is just do it on the phone. So I happen to be in Fort Myers, so that's what we're looking at here. But let's help out Jason. You're talking about Furniture by Jason earlier, so let's check out Furniture Store. What did you guys do before? Custom something?
I did custom wood furniture and custom furniture.
Okay, so furniture. So we could see right here, I can see Furniture by Jason here on the map here, but just taking a look at some of these other ones, what is Aaron's here? So what I'll do is I'll take a look at this. Do we actually see Aaron's? So I'll look and see, okay, here's Aaron, so it looks like it's a legit place. I'm not familiar with it, but we're good, and then I'll take a look. Just says Aaron's, that's fine. So I'll go back to the results, and Rent-A-Center, okay, Furniture by Jason is right there. Oops, go back to the results. Let's see here. There might not be, this one looks like, all
So
right.
we're looking for violations, basically.
Exactly. So look at this one. So this one's Braun Furniture. This looks really suspicious to me. It looks like a whole bunch of warehouses. I don't see a sign. Now, this isn't a neighborhood, but I'm clicking on the map and I'm going to look around. And this is what someone who's going to check the work to verify that my report of this violation is true. So I'm not seeing anything on the street here
There's
that
no
has anything to
signage.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no signage. I'm not seeing anything here. And I'm just going to go back and double check the address. So it said 1317 North Drive. Go back on here. Does this have any address on there? Let me go down the
So if they
road.
were if they were renting office space here and they had a sign just like how this business has a sign, even though it looks like you wouldn't really, have a huge showroom there, but if you had a sign, that would be good enough for Google's guidelines. So
Yeah, and I'm not seeing anything.
because it doesn't look residential.
Yeah. Here's another place. I mean, I'm going all the way up and down North Drive. I'm not seeing any addresses. I went up and down the entirety of North Drive, and I don't see anything that has to do with the furniture store. So I'm confident now that I can report this. I'll suggest an edit, and I'm going to click this box, say this place never existed. Hit submit. So now what will happen is somebody else that's on Google, either at Google or another person that's a reviewer, will check to see if my edit makes sense, and they're going to do the checks that I just did. So they're going to go up and down the street. They're going to say, yeah, this Braun furniture isn't there. So then what will happen is this place will just get knocked off the map, which means that you could move up one ranking for certain search terms as a result. So you're basically eliminating your competition off the map. Let's see if there's any others that are in a warehouse here. So here's one that says Dendro Company, furniture store, and right here I see the picture here. Maybe you don't have this picture here. The other thing you could do is just flip this to Google Earth View, and we can see the satellite. Is this in an industrial area or a commercial area? Well, it does look like it from this perspective. Well, if I click down here, I can again get on the ground here and see, do we see anything that says Dendro? I can't read that, but it's definitely longer than Dendro. This one is definitely longer. I can't read what it says, but I don't see anything that looks like a furniture store. I don't see, oh, we have a sign there. Let me go check that out because I want to make sure that I'm not closing someone that shouldn't be closed. So let me see, go back and we'll see what this sign says. So a lot of times you'll see a lot of stuff in a neighborhood. Elmwood Enterprises. So that's the sign that's for this building. And that's what makes sense here. Let's see what this address is. So it's 101 and 102. Let's go ahead here. This is 481 Scotland Road 102. So what I might want to do is check out what Elmwood Enterprises is and see if they're 101 or 102 to see if that makes sense. But yeah, this is kind of the process. You go through and you just check each one to see, does this make sense? Doesn't it? And then go from there. Now I want to
So what was the first step? How do you get to this screen?
well, I just like to go right to Google Maps. So I just go to maps.google.com. And I'm going to try another one. I'll do a search term that I want to see, that I know I'll show up for, and I know my competitor, then I can see who my competitors on the map are. So let me do custom, what did you do, wood furniture?
Yeah.
Furniture, Henry. This is one way to get there. The other thing you do is you can actually just move the map to where you want, and the results will alter. What's nice is on your phone, there's a button that says "Search this area." You don't get that in the desktop view. But let me see. So I did custom wood furniture. This first one, Wagner's. So this is the first item that comes up in Google for this. And are we seeing? Let me just do the search again. So we get furniture by Jason is somewhere in here, hopefully. And if not, hopefully it'll be there soon. But there's Dendro again. This one, see this picture? This looks like it's a house. Okay, it's obviously a house from this picture. I'm just going to spin around once to see if there's anything on the other side. Okay, so there's definitely no businesses on this street. And if I come back, we see this a lot. And then I'll zoom into that particular place. Just check out the surrounding neighborhood. Just make sure the pinpoint wasn't put in the wrong place accidentally. This is definitely all a neighborhood. So I'm going to suggest an edit, and I'm going to say this place never existed.
Now, just to point out, you're saying suggest an edit, but you have to be signed into your Gmail account, and would you suggest personal or business Gmail account?
Either one is fine. So it doesn't matter which one it is. The more you do this, the more, and Google, and the more verified things that you get changed or removed, the faster your edits will happen. So there's some cases where you'll change information about a business because maybe the name of it is wrong. They'll actually approve your edit, within minutes. Some of the ones where you're marking places not existed actually requires most of the time someone to check it, but the difference between the business and personal account doesn't matter. You just need some Gmail account to be able to do this. Here's another one. Custom wood furniture. So this is Clabber Creek Closet Company. All right, so is there a closet company here? I don't see one. I don't see any signs.
Closet's there.
What's
That's a
that?
neighborhood.
There's a closet. Yeah, that's a neighborhood. There's a closet. Maybe there's a closet in that room, but of course there are. But yeah, this is definitely a violation. So suggestion edit. I'm going to do this. So okay. So what happens to this from the business owner's perspective that maybe put that up there? Well, they're going to get next time they check their listing, which they should be staying on top of anyway. It's going to say to them, your listing was reported as a violation, that you didn't exist. Several other people confirmed you. If you're a home-based business, you should be hiding your address. Change those settings now. So that's what they'll see on their end.
Yeah, if you can get other people to confirm it as well, and then that'll definitely move it up on the red flag list.
Right. So this is something. So I just reported what 3 or 4 places so far. Here's another one: Pinnacle Wood Products. I'm going to click on this. I see the side of, well, it could be a business. So in this case, this is a unique one. This is one where this could be the business. And it looks like there's some businesses here, but I can't definitively say, yes, this is a violation. I can't read this sign. But what you can do is drive out here. Jason, you're in McHenry, so this isn't far away. You drive out here and verify that this is a business and this is Pinnacle. Because if this isn't, and you don't find them physically in the world any around here by searching on foot and by car, let's see what this
I'd
little
probably
sign
just
says.
call first, but
Well, yeah,
yeah.
that's what a lot of people do too. But the point that I was going to make about physically visiting versus calling is after you do that, you can go on. There's a forum of people who also that talk about this to talk about cleaning up the map, and you just post something. You post a link to the edit that you made and say, I physically went there and I called and there's no one there, there's nothing here. Or I called the number, I asked for directions and they said, oh, well, we don't really have a location there. We do stuff by appointment only at this other address. Well, that's clearly spamming the map and trying to put pinpoints all over the place to try and get business in a way that Google does not allow. So
Yes, people do that all the time at doctors or lawyers. They do that all the time, or especially like plumbers too, because they'll have, let's say each plumber has their own. They list their own home address as another location for the business, and if they're scattered all the way throughout the Lake County area, now you're starting to rank for every town around there.
people that know a little bit about what we do are actually some of the worst. So I'm going to take a look at I'm able to spell this web design Fort Myers, and you'll be able to see a lot of web design and internet marketing people put a lot of they try and keyword their stuff, which is a violation as well. So see, look at this one. So Fort Myers Web Design, Cape Coral Web Design. I don't think this is the name of their business. So first off, they're hiding their address. So that means they're doing what's right from the perspective of they're probably a home-based business and they know they're not supposed to show their address. But I'm going to go ahead and check their website here and see, is the business name really Fort Myers Web Design dash Cape Coral Web Design? Because I don't think it is. And it's webdesignj.com is the name of this. And I'm going to just check their footer to see what they say they're called. Looks like they're just doing a whole bunch of keyword stuffing in their footer. I'm going to go to their contact page. Really? There we go. Contact webdesign.j for your free quote. So it looks like their business name is webdesign.j. Let me copy that. And then what I'm going to do, webdesign.j. So that's what I perceive as their business name based on how they're representing themselves. So I'm going to suggest an edit here. Come into here. I'm going to change their business name to what it's supposed to be. Hit submit. and then this will probably get approved within a few minutes because I do this all the time. So now they won't get the advantage of having keywords in their business name that shouldn't be there because that's not really their business name and it's misrepresenting themselves in the map, which is a violation. So Google certainly approves this method, and it because you're helping them improve the map and you're helping them keep people to the rules that they have established for being on the map.
I do want to point out that Google does often change their guidelines. So something that you could violate today, it might not be tomorrow, or, the opposite.
Right. So just scanning through here, see if I can find any more. Looks like the people around here are actually pretty good at not using their homes.
So this would actually be another example of something you could spend some time on that could really help your business as well as cleaning up the map in general, as opposed to say being posting some things on Facebook or something like that.
Oh yeah, because you think about it. Let me just do. So I'm in Fort Myers, web design. So who's coming up? These are the local results. So I can do this search and say, okay, well, I'm going to check these 3 guys out. If I click more places, this brings me right into Google Maps. But this is the person that's getting the most calls right now based on this. So there's the ads. 30% of people click on the ads. 70% of people click here and down. This gets 42% of the clicks. This gets 12%. This gets 8%. So if I'm not in this as a web designer in the Fort Myers area, I should really be, I should click on this and see if these first 3, BZ Genius, these 3 guys are actually located at these addresses. So I'm going to click on this first one. Look at this. The very first result, oh, maybe they're here, maybe they're not. It looked like a neighborhood from the first look. Let me look at the second one. All right, this one looks suspect. This is definitely a neighborhood, and I've definitely been on the street before, and I know there's no businesses here. So if I was this third one, let's see, April, okay, and this was definitely a house as well. So the second and third result are houses and a violation on Google Maps. Let me see, Interactive Marketing Studios is number 4. This looks like a legit business might be in that building. I'm not sure, but let's say it was. So from that perspective, the fourth result, so these 3 show up on the first page of Google. This fourth one is not. If I close these 2 down, the next 2 underneath pop up to the second and third result. I hope, does that sound as powerful as I'm hoping it does?
Yeah, the whole point is you're getting more phone calls, more traffic to your website, more business. Mm-hmm. So to get these guys out of the way and put yourself above there, I mean, and while you're following all of Google's guidelines, I mean, it's a great strategy.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I'm not showing up here. I close these 2 places down. Now I show up. Now
and you're doing this within 10 minutes.
Exactly. So that's just a really powerful way to just snipe some rankings right away.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have that covered pretty well, or is there anything else we need to go over on that? Because we are pushing our time limits a little. Want to see if make sure we got this covered. Robin, what else do we have on this?
Paul really got it on that. So.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything else really on there. I mean, you could. The one thing we do as part of our SEO program is we'll do this for. Well, first off, we'll teach our clients how to do this through a training session if they're doing our consulting, or if they're a full service client with us, we'll take care of this for them. So we'll just go through and we have a massage therapy client, and I went through and closed out all the massage therapists that are operating, that have listings set out of their homes. So this way I've just basically removed her illegal competition on Google. Same thing for my financial planning client. We did the same thing for him. So we can go through and take care of this for you, or through the consulting we can teach you how to do it. So the it's just one one way to increase your rankings on Google. And like Robin said, the bottom line is more business, getting phone calls, and making more money. And that's what SEO is supposed to be about. Right, Terry?
Absolutely. So we did talk today about the Google page a little bit and getting that optimized and getting your reviews, which is a great way to get, move yourself up and get yourself in a better position to be found. And then we talked about this, about looking at your competition. And just want to emphasize again, and at perfect timing, we pulled up our favorite chart here. But when you start looking at the social media, that little tiny blue sliver is your social media section of SEO. And I know we just talk to people every day who are so inclined to get on Twitter and Facebook, and which is fine, and we don't say that's something you shouldn't be doing. But these things that we're talking about now are so much more powerful in the overall world of SEO and getting yourself found on Google. That this is the kind of thing that you can learn, spend a little bit of time, and just make a major difference in how many new targeted customers are heading in your direction.
Yeah, if it's worth 5% of ranking on Google and search engines, then spend 5% of your time on Facebook and Twitter and your other social media sites, and then spend the rest, 95% of your time, doing all of these other items.
Of your marketing time.
Yes.
Not all of your time.
Not all of your time.